Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. If you follow basketball, you know Chilltown Hoops.
So this is really good right here. Yo, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. Y'all know what time it is when you see me. It is Chilltown Hoops in effect. This is what we do around here. Place where we talk pro basketball on the regular, by the regular, with the regular. Chilltown Hoops himself. Absolutely. This is what we do around here. So I'm going to get right to the meat and potatoes of this. Some stuff that has surprised me this season. I mean, a lot of people would start by saying, why aren't you surprised that Joker isn't doing, because Joker is doing what he's doing. Excuse me. Why aren't you surprised by Joker? Well, here's my question to you. We're in peak Joker years. There's a difference between a prime and a peak, right? Completely different. Prime and peak are not the same thing. Your peak is within your prime, right? I just want to make sure that we understand that, right? Your peak is in your prime. You could be in your prime, but be out of your peak years. Shaq, for example. Shaq was still in his prime in 2005. He was out of his peak years, though. Bryant was still in his prime in 2009. He was out of his peak years, though. When you're talking about being in your peak years, there's a difference. And Joker is in his peak years right now. So with Joker being in his peak years, there shouldn't really be anything that I'm surprised about, because what I'm seeing him do right now, it's not out of the ordinary. For example, like this season, Joker is leading the league in rebounding. Joker is leading the league in assists. Well, he averaged almost 9. He's been in the top. I think he's been in the top 5 in the league. He was in the top 5 in the league in assists last year. In addition to him being in the top 5 in the league in assists, I mean, he led the league in rebound. I think he led the league in rebounding last year. And if he didn't lead the league in rebounding, he was right at the top of the list. This is who Joker is, right? So this is what we're getting from Joker at this point. We're getting a guy, excuse me, we're getting a guy who in his peak years, right? In his peak years, he's doing stuff like this. Like this year, he's leading the league in rebounding, right? This year, he's leading the league in rebounding. Last year, he was good enough at 12 and a half, almost 12 and a half a game. At those 12 and a half a game that he's averaging, I'm confident that 12 and a half a game that he was averaging was good enough for, I think, top 5. I think it was good enough for top 5, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Sabonis, Joker led the league. If Joker didn't lead the league in rebounding, he was right there. He 100% was right there at the top of the list. He was definitely in the top 5. So, right, with that being said, I'm not surprised at what Joker is currently doing. And the reason why I'm not surprised at what Joker is currently doing is because I'm in peak Joker years. And when I'm in peak Joker years, this is what I expect. And I don't want to diminish it. Okay, I want to make sure that we're clear when I say that I don't want to discount it. Right? I don't want to discount what Joker has done. I don't want to poo-poo at it. I mean, there's not a lot of guys who lead the league in rebounding and, you know, are right outside or leading the league in assists also, right? There's not a lot of guys who are doing that. You know, Joker as of right now, that's kind of what's going on with him. And he's been pretty consistent with this. This isn't something that, you know, just started with Joker, where, you know, Joker out the blue just became this. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when you talk about being surprised by something, right? When you talk about being surprised by something, it means it's something that's out of the ordinary. Like, wow. And because I'm pretty confident, like I said, last season, you know, Joker was in the top 5 in the league in assists. So is it ridiculous for me to think that He couldn't lead the league in rebounding. Is it ridiculous for me to think that he couldn't lead the league in assists? He was in the top 5 last year. So you clearly are in that space when you're doing that. So I'm not surprised by this. I'm not looking at Joker like, damn, Joker getting busy. I mean, this is who Joker has been over the last 3-4 years. Because we're in peak Joker years, right? We're in peak Joker years. So with us being in peak Joker years, I can't say that I'm surprised at what's going on with peak Joker. You know what I am surprised at, though? I'm surprised at the Trailblazers. I'm surprised how competitive they are. I am surprised at that. I expected the Trailblazers to basically get motorboated. I did. I expected them to get dump truck on the regular. And that was kind of going on. Right? That was kind of going on for a little bit. I mean, I believe it was a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks. Memphis beat them by almost 50. Memphis stomped them by almost 50. Last year, Oklahoma City beat them by 60. So it's not something that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting them to be whack, super whack. Only except, since that, for lack of a better term, since that ass whooping from the Trailblazers, from Memphis, they won their last 3 games. Right? They won their last 3 games. Both of those games, they beat Minnesota and they beat Atlanta. They're giving up 105 points, which is well below league average. Well below league average. Tamani Kamari looks really good as a defender. Donovan Clingan looks to me like he looks like a 5 or 6 year vet. That's what he looks like more than anything. And his ability to rim protect has been fantastic. I mean, I think he's got 9 blocks in the last 2 games. Right? 9 blocks in the last 2 games. On top of that, just so you guys know, Robert Williams, 2 of the last 3 games, he's missed 1 shot. He's going 15 for 16 from the floor. And we forget, because a guy gets hurt and a guy's been out of the lineup, we forget how good guys actually are as players. And let's be clear, Robert Williams was an all-pro. He was an all-pro defender. That was going on. He's a starter on an NBA finalist team. Robert Williams was not a good player. He was elite. He was elite. The knee injury slowed him down. That was absolutely what slowed him down. So now he's gotten back in the lineup. He looks healthy. He looks great. He looks fantastic. And I can't say enough about this Trailblazer team just being competitive. They're only 2 games. 2, that's it. They're only 2 games under 500. So I'm 100% surprised at that. I did not expect the Trailblazers to be this competitive. I actually had a conversation earlier with the fellas where I'm thinking to myself, if Shaedon Sharpe can stay healthy, is this your 2 guard of the future? And if it is, I want to build around him and Scoot. I want to build around him, Scoot, and Clingan. That's who I want to build around. If Shaedon Sharpe is my 2 guard of the future, I want to build around him, Scoot, and Clingan. I think that I think that I can get something substantial, especially how he's been playing. I think I could get something substantial for Robbie Williams right now, especially the way he's been playing. I think I could get something really good for him, right? So I'm willing to come off of everything else. I'm willing to move off of Jeremy Grant. Very much like what's going on with Chicago Bulls, with the Chicago Bulls. Is Kobe White, is he your future? Is Josh Giddey, is he your future? And is this kid Baselis your future? Because I think they are. I do. And if that's true, I'm willing to move off of everything else. I'm willing to move off Lonzo. I'm willing to move off Vooch. I'm willing to move off Zach LaVine. I'm willing to move off of Pat Williams. I'm willing to move off of all of these dudes. Right? So with that being said, I do think that the Trailblazers have a couple of pieces that we can build around, because once you do that, right? Once you establish your franchise pieces, once you establish your cornerstones, then we have a direction. We can build around this, correct? So I got my lead guard of the future in Scoot. I'm straight with Scoot. I am. I'm straight with Scoot. I think we got to work on his efficiency. And I think a lot of you guys, I think you lose sight of that. I think you lose sight that in the NBA, this isn't just about showing up. They have a department called player development, where they develop guys, where guys are what they are when they show up, and it's our job to turn them into something different, productive. So it's our job to make Scoot more efficient. It's our job to make Clingan a better defender. You know, just so we clear, Evan Mobley didn't just show up to Cleveland and he's a better defender. That's not what happened. They got a damn good developmental department there. They got good coaching there. If Shaedon Sharpe can stay healthy, it's your job to turn him into an elite two guard if he's got the goods. And from what I've seen in these last couple of games, he looks like he's got something. He does. He looks like he has something. So if that's true, right? If that's true, then I'm down to build off that. I'm down to build off this guy, and this guy. I got my backcourt and I got my big man. Let's build on it. And let me tell you something. I've said this to you guys in the past, and I stand on it because it doesn't happen everywhere. But I've said this to you guys in the past. In basketball cities, right? In basketball cities, when you are honest with the people, they will get behind you. They will get behind you if you're honest with them. And those people up in Portland, if you tell them that Scoot is our point guard moving forward, and Shaedon Sharpe is our two guard moving forward, and we got our 5-man in Clingan, and this is what we moving forward with, and you move off of Simons, and you move off of Jeremy Grant, they'll get behind you, right? They will 100% get behind you. So I'm surprised how competitive the Trailblazers have been. And to be honest with you, I don't hate the direction. I don't hate the direction. I'm surprised by Memphis' slow start, but they've been riddled with injuries, right? They've been riddled with injuries, and because they've been riddled with injuries, that kind of slowed them down. I had Memphis as a top 3 seed in the West, right? I had Memphis as a top 3 seed in the West, and it hasn't been working out that way. Ja's been out of the lineup. In addition to Ja being out of the lineup, Desmond Bane has been out of the lineup. And GG Jackson, you don't get him back until after Christmas, right? You don't get GG Jackson back until after Christmas. So they've been riddled with injuries. Marcus Smart's been in and out of the lineup. So with Marcus Smart being in and out of the lineup, GG Jackson not coming back until after Christmas, Ja being in and out of the lineup, even though you got your whole crew back, injuries could throw a monkey wrench in what you're doing. Injuries could throw a monkey wrench in what you're doing. So if they could get themselves back on track, because again, I remember this team when they were the number 2 seed in the West. They just ran up on they had a bad matchup with the Lakers. But I remember this team when they were the number 2 seed in the West. I remember them, and they looked like they were serious, and they looked like they were building something. Now, was Ja made of glass? I don't think so. I don't think he's made of glass, but I do think that he's changed his game and to be less flight and more ground and be more effective there. And I do like that about him. I 100% dig that about him. With that being said, they do have their deficiencies. You are not winning and going deep into the playoffs. You're not going deep into the playoffs if you don't rebound. Now, I think Zach Edey can supplement that, right? I think Zach Edey can supplement that, but he hasn't really played that much. Zach Edey is giving me about 20 minutes a game, and I think that they're bringing him along slow, right? I think they're bringing him along slow, which I'm cool with that. I got no problem with bringing Zach Edey along slow, because the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to risk injuring him and getting him hurt. No, I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. What I do want to do is I want to ensure that he's productive. I want Jaren Jackson to rebound more. He doesn't average. He's never been a double-digit rebounder. Now, am I just going to have to accept that about him? Am I just going to have to accept that Jaren Jackson is never going to be a better rebounder? Do I need to just accept that? Because again, you guys know my philosophy on guys. You know, at this point, this is probably who he is, right? At this point, this is probably who this guy is. So, do I have to just accept that Jaren Jackson is never going to be an elite rebounder? Do I just have to accept that, even though I don't want to? I don't. I really don't want to, but I'm wondering, is that something that I just got to accept? Because, I mean, at this point, I mean, last year, if I'm not mistaken, last year was year 5. He's 23-6. 23-6-2. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I think that's who he is. I think that's who he is. So, as much as I don't want to, as much as I think that there's more there, I may have to accept that, you know what? This is who he is. I had this conversation earlier today about Jamal Murray. And Jamal Murray showed me who he was. I mean, I think we're in year 7 with Jamal Murray, year 8 with Jamal Murray. And don't get me wrong, from an efficient standpoint, he hasn't been sharp. His efficiency has gone down this year. Okay, I can accept that. But who is Jamal Murray? I think Jamal Murray is an 18 to 21 a game guy. That's who I think he is. On a Tuesday night, Jamal Murray is anywhere between 18 to 22 a game. That's who he is. 5 and 5. Jamal Murray doesn't pass. That's why you built the offense around the big fella. That's why you got a big fella like Joker who can play make and pass, because he's your best passer. With that being said, that's who I think Jamal Murray is. So I probably have to accept that with Jaren Jackson. That's why you got Zach Edey. I got more of a, I got a big, I got another rim protector, but I got more of a glass cleaner to supplement the fact that I don't have one. And we're never going to win with Jaren Jackson only there because he doesn't rebound. He doesn't. That's not who he is. He's a 5-6 a game rebound guy, 6'10". That makes me nuts, by the way. But I think that he could be better. But I do have to accept that this is probably who he is. This is probably him. And you know what? I've accepted that. I may have to accept that. One of the things that I remember talking to you guys about, and I was candid about this, and that was how when guys come back from the Olympics, how much more effective they are throughout the course of the season. How much more effective they are throughout the course of the season. And the proof is in the pudding. I saw Barkley in '92, in the summer of '92, come back and win the league MVP. I saw how good he was. I saw how good Jason Tatum was in 21. And then the next year, the very next year, that summer in 21, when he was in the Olympics, that next season, he was a first-team All-Pro. It's something about playing in the Olympics and playing with those guys at that level that enhances guys and makes guys better. So, with that being said, I expected way more than what I'm getting out of Bam right now. I expected way more than what I'm getting out of Bam. I had almost a 20-10 guy last year on elite defense. I expected a top 15 player this year. I expected him to knock on that door, right? I expected him to knock on that top 15 door this season. I expected that from him. Yes, I did. I expected that kind of season from him. And I'm not getting it. Bam has played in all 12 of the Miami Heat games. All 12 of them. The first half of those games, he's giving me 15 and 9. I'm like, that ain't Bam. That is not Bam. 15, 9, and 3? Out here overthinking, right? Out here overthinking and getting it wrong? I'm like, no. Overcorrecting himself, overcoaching himself. I don't think it's Spo overcoaching him. I think it's him overcoaching himself and not being as aggressive as he can be. And with that, right? With that being said, he's starting to put it together. I mean, I saw him a couple of nights ago when they played Indiana. The jump shot is starting to fall. He's always been an elite defender, and I'll die on that hill. I'm never coming off that hill. I will die on that hill. He's always been an elite defender. I just expected him to be better, right? I expected him to be better, and he wasn't. And this has to change. 100% it has to change, because I think we're in peak Bam years. That's why. I think that we are in peak Bam years. That's why I feel like this has to change. Off the strength that I'm in peak Joker years, and I'm getting peak Joker. I'm in peak Bam years. I got almost a 20 and 10 guy last season. That's what I was expecting this year. I was expecting a 19 to 22 a game guy this year. That's what I was expecting. Even though I think Bam is about a 19. I think Bam is a 19 to 20 a game, 9 to 10 rebound a game guy, right around 20 and 10. But I expected him to be more efficient this year, and I expected him to be better, and I haven't gotten that. He's overthinking, overcoaching himself, not nearly as aggressive offensively. I don't think it's coaching. Initially, I said that, we need to have a conversation about Spo, but no, we don't. Because Bam has been put in positions where he can be more aggressive, and he hasn't been. He has not been. I didn't expect Philly to be this bad. I'm thinking to myself, can Philly? Who turns it around sooner? Philly or Milwaukee? I think Milwaukee turns it around sooner than Philly does. Off the strength of who they have in both Giannis and Dame. And they've actually been, with what they've been doing, with what Milwaukee's been doing, they're not as awful. They don't suck as bad on the perimeter defensively. Their defense is still average at best. Average. Even though they got an elite rim protector in Brook Lopez, and they got an elite defender, and they got an elite defender in Giannis. You got Dame and you got Giannis both playing at great levels. So because of that, I'm thinking to myself, all right, what has to happen for them to turn this around? I just think they got to keep plugging away at it. There is no trade. There is nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. Let's get to the bottom of that right now, Milwaukee. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody. I watched Milwaukee a couple of nights ago when they played against the Celtics, and I watched the action between both Giannis and Dame, and how switch heavy of a team Boston is, and how they consistently hunted Jrue Holiday and got the switch they wanted with him and Giannis. That's not coaching. That's just Giannis having to go after Jrue Holiday. And he didn't do that. Not nearly as much as he could have. Defensively, offensively, Dame got shut down by Jrue Holiday. That's not coaching. That's not. Nope, that is not coaching. This team, this Milwaukee team, I feel like with both Giannis and Dame and Brook Lopez, who is long in the tooth and doesn't have an adequate replacement, because we're probably going to have to stick with this, who doesn't have an adequate replacement, because they don't have that, they're going to have to roll with him. Because they don't have that, it's not going to be slow going, but it's going to go. It's going to have to go. There's nobody coming to help you guys. There is no trade that's going to make this thing better. Giannis said before last season, before the beginning of the 23-24 season in the summer, he said he wasn't signing an extension because he wanted to ensure that he was going to compete for NBA championships. And the Bucks go out and they trade for Damian Lillard. Now, this is what I need you guys to understand. There's a difference between informing and consulting. I can inform you of something. Hey, listen, I'm doing this. I'm giving you information. This is what's going on. Hey, listen, we have an opportunity. Damian Lillard has become available, and we have an opportunity to get him, and we're going to move off of him for Jrue Holiday. That's informing you that we're doing this, as opposed to consulting you. Hey, Giannis, Dame has become available. And with Dame becoming available, we have an opportunity to get him. But that means that we got to move off of Jrue. How do you feel about that? That's consulting you about it. And Giannis doesn't really strike me as a front office dude. Giannis doesn't strike me as the dude that's hands-on in the front office like that. He doesn't. Giannis does not strike me as the type of dude that's got his hands in the front office. I think that he's one of them dudes who, I'm going to let you handle that. That doesn't mean that when they come to him, he ain't listening. No, that's not what that means. But I do think that he's one of those dudes who, I'm going to let you handle this. I don't work in that department. I work downstairs. I work on the floor. That's the department that I work in. So because of that, I'm going to let you handle that. That's the kind of dude he strikes me as. This is a 3-year window. Last season, when Giannis signed that extension, and the reason why I said a 3-year window is because Dame, at the end of this 3 years, Dame will be 36. Excuse me. At the end of this window, Dame will be 36. I think this is a 3-year window. We in year 2 of this 3-year window. We're in year 2. There is nobody coming to help you. Nobody. Figure it out. Get better. Now, I hear plenty of times the logic that I hear plenty of times the logic of people telling me, well, maybe he's just not as good at this, or maybe he just can't do that. And in some cases, that is the truth. 100% the truth. In some cases, not in every case, but in some cases. And you got to accept the guy's limitations. However, what he can do, we got to enhance that. We have to. 100% we do. And if you are in a space where I got Giannis, I got peak. I'm in peak Giannis years too, by the way. Yes, I'm still in peak Giannis years. And I'm still in prime Damian Lillard years. When I have these two guys, I got to maximize them. I have to. 100% I got to maximize them. Speaking of maximizing, 100% Coach Udoka is maximizing Houston. I told you guys before the season started, and a lot of y'all scoffed at me when I said, a lot of you guys scoffed at me when I said, I think Houston's a top 5 seed. A lot of you guys said that I was ridiculous. A lot of you guys said that there's no way, how tough the Western Conference is, that Houston's going to be a top 5 seed. Y'all said I was ridiculous. I think they're the 4th seed right now in the West. Yeah, I think they're the 4th seed right now in the West. And what they're going to do in the playoffs, I think that's something completely different than what's going on moving forward. I mean, in the regular season, not moving forward, but in the regular season. I think that's something completely different. And it starts with them buying in to Ime Udoka's system. And Ime Udoka's system is ball movement, defense, continuity, rebounding, accountability. Those are the things. Those are the things that Coach Udoka is adamant about. Accountability and discipline. Accountability and discipline. If this continues, this is what's going to continue. If this continues, I see this Houston team going that way. You already extended Jalen Green. You already extended Alperen. So with extending those guys, right? With extending those guys, you're telling me that you have your base, and Jalen Green's been great. Alperen Sengun, he's been fantastic. And with extending those guys, you're telling me that, okay, this is my base. These are the guys that I'm building this unit around. Jabari Smith has not been what I expected him to be. I thought he'd be better. I thought he'd be a better knockdown shooter. I thought he'd be a better defender than what he is. And I think that's largely due to Coach Udoka. I think that's largely due to Coach Udoka being short with the leash. I think that has a lot to do with it, and I like that about him. Get on your job. Yep, get on your job. More than anything, get on your job. And if you're not going to get on your job, I'm gonna get somebody. I'm gonna get somebody who will get on their job. That's what I'm gonna do. 100%, I'm gonna do that. So with that, right? With that, Tari Eason has been fantastic. Right? Tari Eason has been fantastic. 100% he has been. This team has gotten better. This team has 100% gotten a lot better. Yes, they have. And I think it's important that people recognize them. 100% it's important that people recognize them. I did not expect the Golden State Warriors to be who they are. No, I didn't. I didn't have them making the playoffs. Considering what I had seen last year, so Wiggins loses his dad. In addition to him losing his dad, he ain't playing on the Olympic team because the Warriors are talking about moving off of him. So that's going to be a wash. They move off of Steph Curry. They move off of Clay. In addition to them moving off of Clay, okay, you got Curry and you got Draymond coming back. You add DeAnthony Melton. You had another long ball shooter in Buddy Hield. I still don't know what they're doing with Pods. Is he the future? Is he right now? What's the deal with him? Same logic with Kuminga. I thought that this team was going in a different direction. Come to find out, Steve Kerr got 12 guys. Steve Kerr got 12 guys. 12 of them. And he's found minutes for all 12 of these guys. He told us before the season started that this is the deepest team he's ever had. He told us that. And I'm thinking about that 2015, 2016 team with Barbosa, Varejao, and Livingston, and Iggy. He had a bomb squad of guys. But this crew here, he ain't lying. He's got one of the deepest teams in the league. And on top of that, they've always been, right? They've always been great when they've been one of the better defensive teams in the game. 2015, win the NBA championship, best defense in the league. 2016, in the NBA championship, second in the league in defense. 2017, win the NBA championship, third in the league in defense. 2022, win the NBA championship, first in the league in defense. This year, I think they're fourth in the league in defense. Fourth in the league in defense. When you are that good defensively, I already know who they are offensively. They're in the top 10. They're in the top 5 in the league in offense. They're in the top 5 in the league in pace. They're in the top 5 in the league in field goal. This team, this Golden State Warriors team, right? Top 5 offense, top 5 in the league in pace. One of the better long ball shooting teams in the league. This is who they are. This is who they are. Defensively, when they've been great, they've always been around at the end of the season. Always. So I may have to walk that back. I may have to. I'm still standing on them not making the playoffs because I said it. So I got it. So I got to lay on it. I already said it. So I got to lay on it. Right. So with that being said, right. With that being said, This Golden State Warriors team has definitely shocked me. 100% this Golden State Warriors team has shocked me. Speaking of getting shocked, I mean, De'Aaron Fox. What's the deal with De'Aaron Fox? I'll tell you what the deal is with De'Aaron Fox. The deal with De'Aaron Fox is him getting downhill. That's the deal with De'Aaron Fox. That's the deal with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is one of the most athletic guys in the league. One of the most athletic guards in the league. He's finishing at the rim at almost 80%. That's elite. He's shooting in the mid-range at almost 50%. That's elite. And he's one of the better defensive guards in the game. With him being one of the better defensive guards in the game and finishing at the rim at almost 80% and being able to get downhill like he does, it's a recipe for success. It's 100% a recipe for success. We got introduced to De'Aaron Fox 2 years ago in the playoffs. Like a lot of people didn't really pay a lot of attention to him because it's Sacramento and nobody really cares about what's going on in Sacramento. I was, though. I remember him at Kentucky, and I remember how busy he got. And his transition into the league, he got better every year. Yes, he did. He 100% got better every year. So these last 2 games, 109 points. Now, don't get me wrong. This ain't sustainable. That's 54 a game. He's not doing that. Let's get to the bottom of that right now. De'Aaron Fox is not 54, 55 a game. No, he isn't. However, what is sustainable is him getting downhill, him getting to the rim. I think that's sustainable. I 100% believe that that's sustainable. So if he's doing that and he could continue to do that, now we just got to get DeMar DeRozan to continue doing what he's doing. DeMar didn't play a couple of nights ago when they played Minnesota. He didn't play. No DeMar DeRozan, no Monk. So with no Monk, with no DeMar DeRozan, it's a recipe for disaster. That's why you're seeing De'Aaron Fox having to go for 50 and 60. That's what has to happen. Because those dudes ain't around. Now, I expect him to, he's on a hot streak right now. It's definitely surprising. Right? It was definitely surprising. So, I have to say, I'm impressed with him. Not as much as I'm impressed with the Cavs, though. Not nearly as much as I'm impressed with the Cavs. You dudes heard me say that I thought that the Cavs were a top 3 seed before the season started. You dudes heard me before the season started. I said Cleveland is going to be a top 3 seed. I think Evan Mobley is the defensive player of the year. I think that this Cleveland team is going to. I think their ceiling is the East Finals. That's where I was at with them. All right. I thought that their ceiling was the East Finals. What up, Oscar? How you doing, brother? I'm running good. I ain't expect them to do this. No, I did not. And if anybody, because I've actually had this conversation earlier today. Yeah, I had this conversation earlier today, and I had people telling me I expected this from Cleveland because they've been together. No, you didn't expect this. You didn't. You did not expect this. I ain't saying that you didn't expect them to be a good team. I'm not saying that at all. That's not close to what I'm saying. You didn't expect this. 15-0. If they beat the Celtics tomorrow night, I think they win 20 straight. I do. I think they start the season 20, 21 straight. If they beat the Celtics tomorrow. Because I was looking at their schedule. Yes. That's how good I think that they are. That's how good I think that they are becoming. And it's largely due to their rotation. When I talk about Golden State, that's the same thing that's going on in Cleveland. Kenny Atkinson got like 11 guys. Kenny Atkinson got like 11 guys. Because Max Strus hasn't come back, so he's going to be in the rotation. Karis LeVert is in the rotation. Ty Jerome is in the rotation. Okoro was in the rotation. Merrill is in the rotation. I feel like I'm leaving somebody out. I feel like I'm leaving out somebody. But he's got like 10, 11 guys over there. And with how good they've been, how they play defense, they're in the top 10 in the league in defense. They got the best. They got the best. Dean Wade starts. They got the best. They got the best pick and dive. It's George Niang. That's the other guy that comes off the bench. Dean Wade is starting. George Niang is the guy I'm thinking about. My fault. They got the best pick and roll, pick and dive defense in the game. Pick and dive offense in the game. They got one of the better playmaking guards in the game. I think Donovan Mitchell's the best two guard in the game. 100%, I believe that. So when I watch this Cleveland team, the ingredients necessary to win, they got it. They have it. I'm just not sure if they can they put it together. Is Donovan Mitchell the best player on a championship team? Because I feel like this is where we are now. We're in a space now where we're in a space now where Donovan Mitchell can prove that he's the best player on a championship level team. Because he's proven to be an all-pro. He's proven to be an all-star. He's proven that he can lead a team in the playoffs. He can get you out the first round. He proved that already. More than once. He proved that. The question is can I, right? The question is can I be the best player on a championship team, on a championship contender? Because despite what we say about these guys being number ones on championship teams, you're not a number one until you do it. I don't care about what I've seen. I don't care about how good you look. Until you do it, you ain't that. Until you do it, you're not that. So, can he be the best player on a championship team? Because I already think he's the best two guard in the game. That includes Devin Booker, that includes Anthony Edwards, that includes Jaylen Brown. All of those guys. I think Donovan Mitchell is the best two guard in the game. So, can he be the best player on a championship team? Because I can tell you right now, Darius Garland looks like he's got that battery in his back. Darius Garland looks like he's got that battery in his back. LeBron James was a Breha, whatever your name is, from Africa. Let's get to the bottom of something. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Until you prove it, you're not. I don't care about how good you are. Until you prove that you can do it, you haven't done it. Up until that point, James was an awesome player. Up until that point. But James had proven that he could lead a team to the championship. Can we win it with him, though? We don't know that yet. That part we don't know. He proved that he could get us there. He did prove that. Oh, 100% he proved that. He can get us there. Can we win it with you, though? Can we win it with you as our guy? That part wasn't proven. Not yet. That part was the part that hadn't been proven yet. So Donovan Mitchell has proven to me he can get us to the playoffs. He has proven to me he can get us out of the first round. He proved that. Can we win it with you, though? Can we do that? Can we win it with you as our guy? Until we get to that point, then I can't say that about him. I can't. Nope. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see, because this season has started off really good, man. I like what I'm seeing. I am. I like what I'm seeing from these guys. I do. There's some guys that have shocked me. There's some guys that I'm disappointed in. And with guys who have shocked me, with guys who have disappointed me, I'm still all in, though. I'm still all in. 100% I'm still all in. So Is Jimmy Butler number one on a championship? Can you answer that question? Yes or no? Because Jimmy Butler proved that he can get us there. He proved that. Can we win it with buckets? Can we win it with him? He proved that he can get us there, though. Every team is flawed. Every last one of them. The Golden State Warriors in 17 were flawed, as good as they were. The 96 Bulls were flawed. The 92 Bulls were flawed. Here's the question. Can we win it with buckets as our man? He proved that he could get us there, though. He 100% proved that. Yes, he did. Yes, he 100% did. So I like what I'm seeing right now, but I want to hear from you guys. I do. What has surprised you? What's going on? What up?
Chill. I know you like that buzzer beater from JT. I know you like that buzzer beater from him. That step back.
Of course he would hit that and miss the wide open 17
mid-range shot.
Of course he would hit that one. Absolutely, he would hit that and look like somebody opened up the door and moved the rim with that wide open 17-footer. I don't know what the hell that was, but then he turns around and hits a 28-footer with somebody in his face. Give me a break.
Right. How does that make any sense? You can't hit a mid-range shot that's light. I mean, that it doesn't get any more open than that. And then you hit a contested three-point shot and you just go and hit it. I mean,
with a guy all over you.
Yeah, with a guy all over you.
Give me a break.
Chill, I think you were off by 1 year, Chill. I think this is his year to win it. I think this is his year to win that award. I think he wins the MVP this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if he won it. I would not.
I think you were off by a year because you said he was going to win it last year before, preseason predictions. You said he was going to win it last year. I think you were off by one.
I thought that he was right there last year. Mm-hmm. This year, I'm already on record. 30. I still think that the Celtics are going to win 60+ games. I do. I think they're going to win 60+ games. I'm not sure if the Cavs can keep this up. I don't mean undefeated, but I'm not sure that the Cavs can keep this up where they got an 8-9 game lead in the East. I'm not sure that they can keep this up.
I'm a bit worried though, Chill, because like when KP comes back, do you think that's going to take off from JT's offensive production?
Nope.
No, you think he's still going? I mean, he's 30 a game. Like every day, it's like he's dropping 30 a game every single day.
And he was averaging 27 with KP. That's one bucket. I think KP is going to open up stuff even more for him.
That's what I'm saying. Like when he comes back, that's another addition. I mean, they're just going to explode at that point. They're just going to go exactly to where they were last year.
I think so.
Like they're going to start rolling through everybody else in the NBA. I can't wait till we run it back against Golden State, Chill. That's one game that I definitely want to.
I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I wouldn't.
Yes,
I would not mind.
I want that. I want us to run it back. JT, I don't know what happens every time you see Steph Curry. This man just like shrinks every single time you see Steph.
I would not mind that. So
what's going on with Cleveland? Oh, I was going to ask you about Cleveland.
You see it? Do you see what's going on with them? They rolling right now.
I mean, Evan Mobley. I mean, I don't know if he wins Depoy, but I don't know about winning Depoy, Chill. But I'm seeing the offensive improvement.
And I'm seeing the defensive improvement too. Like I said, they're top 10 defense. I wouldn't be surprised if he won it.
You don't think Gobert wins another one? Don't think Gobert wins another one? Wemby not going to win another one this year, or not going to win one this year?
My vote is for Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley.
That's what my vote goes to. So,
well, all right, Chill. You have a good.
What up?
What up, Chill?
What's up, brother?
What you got going on, man?
Not much, Big. Just talking some hoops. What's going on, brother?
Chilling, man. I'm here to talk about your Cavs, man.
My Cavs?
Yeah.
They ain't my Cavs. No, I like good teams.
Yeah.
They ain't my Cavs though, but that's a damn good team up there in Cleveland. 100%.
So me personally, I think they fool's gold. But and the reason why I think they fool's gold is because you don't think they can beat the Celtics, right?
I don't think they could beat the Celtics 4 times in a week. I don't think that. No.
I think that's fool's gold. Because I'm a Timberwolves fan, so let me ask you a question. The Nuggets, they were the defending champions last year, right?
Correct. Going into last season,
nobody thought they could be beat, right? Nobody thought they could be beat, right? A lot of analysts, a lot of people, even a couple people on Players Choice think nobody can beat them, man. We beat them, but we got smoked by the Mavericks. But that's why I just feel like you can't be a championship team if you can't beat the champions. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I like Donovan Mitchell. I like Darius Garland. I their squad, but I just think they probably like a year away.
Fool's goal was Milwaukee. I don't think Cleveland is fool's goal. I think that they building something up there. Even if they're a year away, that don't make them fool's goal. No. Mm-mm.
You don't
Now,
think so?
if they can avoid Boston, that's something completely different.
They're not avoiding Boston, though, Chill. You know
No, they're
that's-
not. No, they're not.
They cannot avoid them.
That's not happening.
So let me ask you this.
Unlike Minnesota, or unlike Dallas, who avoided Denver. I mean, they got lucky.
Yeah,
They did.
sure.
They got lucky and avoided Denver. So, I mean, if somebody could drop the champs in the East, I think we having a different conversation.
Nobody's beating Boston though. If Cleveland can't beat them, I don't. Maybe the next. But I'm gonna ask you this though, Chill. What if Donovan Mitchell folds in the playoffs? Like, let's say, what if they lose in the first round?
Then we having a different conversation about them. Yeah, absolutely, it does. Hell yes. Hell yes.
You think he the best two guard in the game, and you know who I'm
100%.
So
100, and he showed me that we could get out the first round of the playoffs off the strength of you. He showed me that. So if we get bounced in round one with what we have, and you are as bad as what you talking about, Tim, absolutely, we got to have a different conversation about him. Hell yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Hell
Chill.
yeah.
Appreciate you, man. I'll get over with you next time.
Talk to you. Yep. What up? What up?
Yo, what up, Chill? What up, Chill?
What up?
Is the audio good? We good?
Yep. You hot? What up?
All right, Chill. What's up, bro? I wanted to clarify something I was saying on. I think you guys had a stream with you and Ox, right? I came on trying to clarify my point, but I just wanted to make things clear, right? When I was explaining my frustration with my team, right, it was more about the process on what we're trying to do, rather than us winning or losing. And the reason why I make that point is the way, in my opinion, you win in this NBA is maximizing, knowing when to sell high and when to buy low, right? And I just don't think we have the front office which does that, and I just don't think we draft well. So I look at all of these things and I say, we got to get a new front office, okay? And I get that, look, these guys put a good team for about 35 games. It didn't work out. Injuries played a part in that, but they just have not been quick enough to change or be willing to change. They didn't make a trade for 3 years, right? That for me is inexcusable, and for me has led us down to this point where we have to just tank and lose as much as we can this season. And that was what my frustration was about.
It sounds like you have a problem with the front office, and you want to flip the front office before you flip players. You sound like you want some competent front office people.
My worry is that these guys don't want to flip the players, which is what they should be doing, right? And my worry is that even if we do flip the players, that we don't get the right packages for them.
Do you think that the Bulls have taken any calls for Vooch? Because I'm sure that somebody has inquired about him. I'm certain. And if if the Bulls have not taken any calls, I'm certain that they've made calls about Vooch.
So here's where I'm at. I think they're now in the right headspace to where I think they will. But Chill, I'm telling you this right now. They had 3 second-round picks from the Philadelphia 76ers for Drummond last deadline, and they said, no, we're not going to take those. Even though they knew that Drummond wasn't going to stay, right? Drummond was on the Chicago Bulls. They knew they weren't going to sign him. They had 3 second-round picks at the deadline, and they said, no, we're okay.
Who were you giving them to for those 3 picks? Who was going to take them?
It's Philly.
At that time, take 3 twos from Philly.
For a guy who you're going to let walk out?
They probably was thinking that they could do better. I'm not a fan of guys walking out the front door. That's not to say that I won't let a guy walk out the front door, but
right.
Maybe they thinking that we could get something better than 3 twos from Philly, who, by the way, at that point was a playoff team, which means that those picks are going to be irrelevant.
I understand.
We need higher picks. Those 3 twos are nothing. That's
For
nothing.
me, it's just a process. So my process, the way it was explained to me, Chill, was that they wanted to compete for a playoff spot. And for me, that seems crazy. Okay? when you looked at that team last year and you said you wanted to compete for a playoff spot, you must be out of your damn mind.
That's what I'm talking about,
That's
man.
the reason why you didn't want to move up for Drummond and Caruso, because this was why they didn't want to move off Caruso as well. Now, from what I understand, I think people have told me, I think they want to move off of Vooch and Levine, but I need to see it because I've not been convinced on this front office. They have not made a trade since the Giddey trade for over 3 years, right? That Giddey trade was the first trade this front office has made in 3 years, Chill. They kept their roster the same for 3 years. Okay? So they need to show me that they're willing to be adaptable, that they're willing to change, that they're willing to fully commit to one direction, and then maybe I can have some more leeway with this front office. But right now, with the 5 years I've seen them in this front office position, I've not been convinced. And I think 5 years is more than enough time to have an opinion on the front office. I'm sorry, it's just how I view things, right? If someone wants to disagree with me, that's cool. And I just think when I look at the Bulls and what position they're in, here's 2 things they need this season, right? They need to look at this young core. And I don't think they have a superstar here. We don't have a superstar here. But what I do think we have is a lot of good role guys and good players.
The draft is for. That's what the draft is for.
Right.
I'm tired of having this conversation about this superstar shit. Why do the Boston Celtics have a superstar? Where'd they get him from?
Exactly. But
where did the Philadelphia 76ers get that? I'm tired of hearing this superstar shit, man. Because one minute you'll tell me, Adrian, this is what you'll tell me, Adrian. 1 minute you'll tell me that you guys haven't drafted well, when in reality, you did get Ayo. I don't think he's been managed well. I don't think Billy Donovan is doing a good job with him. You did get Kobe White. I think you hit on him. I don't think Billy Donovan is doing a good job with him. I think you're getting it right. I do think that you're getting it right with draft picks. I think that you got it wrong in the front office with your coach. I think that's the problem.
2 problems. 1, Kobe White isn't from this front office. He's a leftover from the previous front office, right?
How long Kobe White been with you guys?
6 years. So when I am, or 7 years, it might be 7 years now. I'm not fully sure of the details on when he was drafted because I think he was I want to say 2019, but I might be wrong. But look, he wasn't drafted by Arturas Karnisovas. Now, Ayo is probably the best draft pick they've made, okay? Patrick Williams, I don't know what they were thinking. Tyrese Halliburton was right there. Desmond Bane was right there. Maxey was right there. They worked out Maxey and were really impressed, and they said, no. I just, look, I understand. I agree with you on the draft part, and that's why this draft is so important for them. But what I was trying to say is they need to find the number 2 guy as well. Because you can't just win with the number 1 guy. You need to surround that guy, right?
I think you got
the question I have for this season is there anyone on this crew right now that you can feel confident maybe this guy can be a number 2 guy? That's what I'm looking at for this season.
First of
maybe
all,
we don't get a lot of
these
wins.
guys are though. We don't know who these guys are, and that's that's what your player development is for. That's what your coaching is for. I mean, I don't know who Josh Giddey is. He comes from Oklahoma City, and now he goes to Chicago, and now he's in a new system. And I don't know how Billy Donovan is using him. 1 minute he's using him at the lead guard spot. The next minute he's got him off the ball. I don't know what he's doing with Josh Giddey. I have no idea. The next minute, I'm good, man. I'm so tired of talking about the Bulls. I am, yo. I'm sick of talking about this team.
I got one more
They're
thing.
a mid shit. I'm tired of talking about them.
I got one more thing for you, Joe. So I always look at how great teams are built and players that take them over the top. I remember putting in the chat, right? We were talking about the Rockets, right? We got to put more credit on Tari Eason, man. Well, the things I am seeing from Tari Eason and Amen Thompson on the defensive end is so impressive, Chill. It's so impressive. Their ability to read, disrupt ball handlers, impose themselves physically. People do not realize how athletic Amen is. Like his athleticism.
I'm starting to recognize it. I'm starting to recognize it. And I like
now,
what I'm seeing.
I'm not fully there with where Ron was going with it. I remember him saying like Prime John Wall was the floor for Amen Thompson. I still think that was crazy by Ron. Yep. But I see the stardom. Yep. Amen is awesome. Now, if I am the Rockets, here's where I am with the Rockets, Chill.
Hey, Adrian, I got to move, brother. Unfortunately, I got to move, brother. Good to talk to you. What up, Sneed?
Chill. What up?
What's up, brother?
Dude, we got to talk the Cavs, Chill.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'll just throw this in there about Jimmy Butler not winning a championship with Jimmy Butler as your best player. We saw that. He was pump fakes in the paint, missing free throws, the biggest games. It's just he's just not the one.
He showed that
Right.
he could get us there, and
Sure,
there's nothing
sure.
wrong with that. There's
Sure.
nothing wrong with that. A guy who can get you there,
There's
But-
levels, right?
100%. And Buckets showed that he could get you there.
Right.
He showed that I can get us there. I ain't good. And don't get me wrong, Sneed. There's a difference between getting us there and then a guy who's there to win it. Those
Yeah.
two things are not the same thing. James showed that we can win it with me as the guy.
Mm-hmm.
We can win it. Kawhi Leonard showed we can win it with me as the guy. Curry showed we could win it with me as the guy. Giannis showed we can win it with me as the guy. Until you do that, I can't say that you're number one on the championship team. I don't care about how good you look right now. I don't care about how good you look in the playoffs. I don't. How many times have I saw Dan Marino throw for 5,000 yards? Is Dan Marino a number one? Is Dan Marino a number one quarterback on a Super Bowl team? Nope.
No proof.
Nope.
Never happened.
Sorry.
That's right. I'm with you on that, Chill. All right, let's talk Cavs. All right, Chill. So I've been watching every single game. I've seen all these lineups. I've seen all the buttons
Yep.
that Kenny Atkinson has been pushing. So we're talking about a team, and this discussion is only for people who have been watching the Cavs. Spare me all the talk about we'll see what they do in the playoffs. I got to see this. I got to see that. You can only evaluate a team on what they're doing right now. So here's what I'm seeing.
Correct.
This is a different team because they have a different coach. Players are being used differently. Players have emerged. Players have developed. So where I'm going with this, the Cavaliers defense tightens up in the fourth quarter. They're taking care of the ball in the fourth quarter. There's no turnovers in the fourth quarter, which means they get more possessions at the end of games because they're taking care of the ball. A different player steps up every single night. They got a deep rotation. They're playing 10, 11 guys. They got a lineup coming off the bench, a full lineup of guys that are coming
I
in.
count 11 guys. I count
Yeah.
11 guys. Yep.
Exactly, which means other guys are only playing about 30, 35 minutes a game. You don't have worn out players, right? Coaching has become a strength. Mobley is now a complete player on both sides of the ball. So is Darius Garland so far this year. The bench is a kicker. The core now has familiarity with each other for multiple seasons.
Mhm.
They're winning all these games. Every team is gunning for them, getting their best shot. The Cavs are still finding ways to win.
Mhm.
Donovan is closing games. Sometimes it's Garland. Mobley is a force, right? The ball is moving around. The ball is moving fast. The ball doesn't stick.
Sure.
So that means defenses are getting worn out. Their head is on a swivel. They have to guard all guys. So when I'm looking at, this game, this is all I care about right now. The first 15 games are cool. It's great. Boston, here's what I'm watching. This game tomorrow night. It's at 7 p.m. Everybody should be watching. Look for these things. Can Boston keep Garland out of the paint? That's the first thing because they have Drew Holiday for that. Can
Correct.
Boston keep him out of the paint? Can they contain Evan Mobley because he's been a menace in the paint, getting all types of easy buckets on simple rim rolls and putbacks? And will they be able to defend all the shooters? Levert, Merrill, Ty Jerome. They have to contain these guys because they can all get loose. And then for Cleveland, can they hold Boston to one-shot possessions? Can they rebound the ball after a stop? Because right now, I swear to God, whenever I watch the Boston Celtics, they're taking 58 threes a game.
Mhm.
Evan Mobley and Jason Tatum, those are your key guys, right? I got Tatum shooting 11 threes a game, Chill. 11. He's the only guy in the MVP conversation, if I'm looking at the top 10 guys, that's averaging double-digit threes attempts. He's shooting the same percentage as Evan Mobley,
Mm.
but he's taken 11 threes, right? That's a volume-based shooting. He's choosing to take these threes. He's not forced to take these threes. He's willingly taking 11 threes a game. So if the Cavs can hold him to one shot, get the rebound, and go back the other way, the Cavs can win this game.
All right. Let's find out. We're going to
All
find out, Sneed. I like it, brother. What up?
What's going on, man?
What up?
I got a brand new phone, man. I'm in 8K. I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna get you in 8K too. This before before I get into it, make sure you tell your friend, your partner, bro. Listen, it's one thing to lose to the Lions, but I'll be damned if we lose to the Gummy Bears.
They
I'll be
own them.
damned. I'll
They
be
own them, dude.
damned. I'll be damned if we lose to the damn Gummy Bears.
They
The
own them,
Bears are
dude.
who we thought they were, bro. Y'all gonna stop getting in my damn inbox with this? Yo, man, we got Caleb Williams and all this shit. Man, stop that. And your team is suck ass too, man. I'm gonna get to them later on, but we do not lose to the Gummy Bears. The Bears are who we thought they were. You make sure you run and go tell your partner that, and you make sure you go run and tell him that. Now let's get right to the nitty gritty. I like the shit that you was talking, man. That's how you supposed to talk early on. When you was talking about getting by the young players that the Bulls got and the young players that the Blazers got. They ready to start over. They ready to flip the joints right now. If you look at some of these young talents, you talked about what the Blazers had with Klingon and Sharp and Scoot Henderson.
Yep.
I think Scoot Henderson, he might need he might need some more reps. Anthony Simons' contract is coming up. You talked about I mean, listen.
I want to build it around. This kid Sharp and Scoot. That's my backcourt of the future.
Okay,
good.
I'm with you on that. My only thing is like, okay, just if you're gonna do that, you got to make sure you get this thing right when you're doing the building and putting the pieces around them. Klingon is good. I like him as a big man. He rebounds, sticks his nose in there, and get the boards, man. And does the dirty work around the paint. Can move his feet a little bit on defense. You talk you talked about the Bulls with Bazalis and
Kobe
who's the
White and Giddey.
Kobe
White and
Kobe
Giddey.
White and Giddy. Yeah. My thing is they've been putting Kobe White through the ringer for years because this is year 6 if I'm not mistaken. They should have
Correct.
started. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They doing him like we doing Cam Thomas. You know what I'm saying. So like this is year 5 for Cam Thomas. This is year 6 for whatchamacallit. Cam Thomas averages 25 a game, by the way. But
by the way, for those of y'all that didn't hear that, he's 25 a night. I think that's good enough for like 9th or 10th in the league. Just so y'all know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
definitely. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, damn, because I'll be honest with you, if they don't lose tomorrow night, man, I got them winning 30 straight. I ain't gonna lie to you. This shit.
No, I ain't doing that, Leaf. I'm not.
You ain't doing that. You ain't doing that.
No,
come on, jump off the top rope, man.
No,
you ain't,
I'm not.
jump right off the top rope. Come on.
I'm not doing that.
No. All right. Look. Real shit. Because you was on Cleveland last year because you like they front court. You like the big man. You been in love with Evan Mobley, bro. You been in love with Donovan Mitchell telling me he the best 2 guard in the league. I'm somewhat starting to believe it. I mean, I think D Book got something to say about it. I think Ant got something to say about it. But
100%
I ain't gonna really call it right now. I wouldn't call him the top 2 guard in the league. That's on you. Evan Mobley.
I'm gonna say this to you right here. If they win 30 straight, they win in the NBA championship. They win in the NBA championship. I'm saying
they get into the finals.
They winning it, Leaf. They win 30 straight games. They win in the NBA championship.
I ain't going that far.
You told me to jump off the top rope. You the one got me in the ring, right? You the one got me in the steel cage. You the one got me on top of the table. You the one got me on top of the rope. I'm telling you right now, Leaf. They win 30 straight. They win in the NBA championship.
I'm not, the only reason why I'm saying it because we gotta I gotta give you some credit in a minute. I don't like giving you shit, but I'm gonna give you some credit in a minute about the the Western Conference in a second. The only reason why I'm saying that they gonna get to the finals for sure, but if they win 30 straight, but I gotta give you some credit, man. The Houston Rockets, you called it. You said they was gonna be top 5 in the West. You said that.
I'm a goofy, but
I mean, no. I'm come on. You know I ain't never call you that, man. Stop that.
Not you. I ain't talking about you, but that was the word. I'm a goofy. I don't know.
I mean. You listen. You talk shit every 5 days a week, sometimes 6, man. Like you run a lot. You run a lot of your mouth, man. Like you 50-something years old, bro. You need to take your ass to sleep some goddamn time. But I mean,
I get plenty of sleep. I get plenty, but when I'm up, I'm up. But when I'm up, I'm up.
And you up talking crazy, so you don't remember a lot of the shit that you say.
Nigga, you just told me that you got the Cavs winning 30 straight. What the hell?
I said, hold up. Now, don't tell me, don't just say that all alone. I said if they don't lose tomorrow night,
if they beat Boston, you got them
if
going.
they beat Boston tomorrow night, they might win 30 straight. They might win 30 straight games, bro. Listen, if you want to laugh at it, that's fine. But they might fuck around and win 30 goddamn straight games. I don't know. This team knows how to get it done down the stretch. I mean, they know how to close. They know how to come back. Or they know how they have the sense of urgency. They playing together. They got the depth now. They got the coaching now. Kenny fucking Atkinson is the real goddamn deal. I knew it years ago. We let him walk out the door, and now he's over there repeating the steps, man, with Jared Allen and Karis LeVert, who is playing pretty good in their lineup, in their rotation. He got ran out of Brooklyn, bro, for damn near nothing. And he was arguably the best coach we had since Jordy Fernandez is doing pretty okay, but he was one of the best coaches that we had since we've been here. Yeah. So listen, if you want me to say it again, I'll say it again. If they don't lose tomorrow night, they might fuck around and win 30 games.
I got them winning 20 straight, Leaf. I'm on record saying
come on now. Come on now.
I got them winning 20
You
straight.
got them winning 4 more games. Fine. Okay, that's fine.
If they win tomorrow night, I got them winning 20 straight. That's as far as I'm going.
But I think you being loose with it, man. You just trying to be safe. Fuck that safe shit, bro. Like, if they win tomorrow night, they might fuck around and win 30 goddamn games.
Yeah, no lose for 2 months. They win the NBA championship. I'm telling you right now, Leaf. If they don't lose for 2 months, that's all I'm gonna say, Leaf, and I gotta keep moving. But if they don't lose for 2 months, they win in the NBA championship. And Donovan Mitchell winning the league MVP. One of them dudes coming off. One of them dudes on that Cavs team winning the league MVP.
I'm gonna add something before I go. Now, somebody talked about the Boston Celtics playing the Warriors again. I'm gonna let you know something. All you Boston Celtics fans that come in here talk to chill, I'm gonna let you know something, man. Listen, there's something about the Golden State Warriors. Every time they see the Boston Celtics, bro, that shit is like food. They know what to do against them. They know how to counteract the bullshit that they bring into the court. And that's one of the reasons why they won that game. And that's one of the reasons why I somehow piggybacked on them. Then they turn around and get their ass smoked by damn near 40 against the Cavs. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, bro, like I gotta give you credit about the Houston shit. You was right on the money about that. Neither one of us had the Warriors in the top, but I give you credit for the Houston shit. Ime Udoka is putting his stamp on this team thoroughly. I'm talking about thoroughly. They defend. They defend. They get out and run. They pass. They move the ball. This team, I think they're gonna finish from 1 to 6. You got them finishing 1 to 5.
I got them finishing 5th. Yeah, I got them finishing 5th.
If they finish higher than this, man, they right ahead of schedule, man. Yes, but Chilltown, man,
later, brother.
Tell your boy, you see this right here? Mm-hmm. We don't lose to the gummy bears.
What up, brother?
What up, Chewy? Can you hear me?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing?
Good.
Just keep it, just to keep it on point about the Cavs. I think, to me, the Cavs, tomorrow is going to be an important game for the Cavs. Well, tomorrow is going to be an important game for the Cavs because if they beat the Celtics, and even if I think they lose, I think it's still an important game because when you have teams that have long win streaks, you want to see if they can adjust after the win streak. And one of the things as well is that you want to see how well Cleveland adjusts even in the game. I think with Cleveland, I enjoy the way Cleveland play. Every time I kind of watch them, they're always kind of close with the first 3 quarters, and in the 4th quarter, they kind of just run away because they put constant ball pressure. Jared Allen is sneakily one of my favorite players in the Cleveland Cavaliers because I really like players who play to their strength. Jared Allen doesn't do anything fancy. It's rebound and jump hooks. That's what he does.
I got roasted, Maury, last year because I thought he should have made the All-Star team last year.
He could have made the All-Star team.
And I got roasted for that.
I'm not against it. I mean, Cleveland could have 3 All-Stars this year, and I wouldn't be upset about it if they had 3 All-Stars.
He had a stretch during the season. He was 18, 13, and 2 blocks for like 2 months. I thought he should have made the All-Star team. I did.
I
But
mean,
keep going.
he's a very good player, and I think the defensive line that those two provide in the front court is something that's going to be a problem for most teams. Now, the question is for the Celtics is can they handle two bigs, because they don't really run a big. I mean, they run Porzingis and they run Al Horford a lot, but can they handle a two big lineup? Basically, can out rebound them and kind of be physical with them. I know the Celtics do shoot a lot of threes. It's going to be an interesting one to see. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers have a good chance of doing well. But even then, in this point of the season, for me, I've watched basketball. I'm never really convinced by anything that's before Christmas. Until after Christmas, I'm more convinced about what I'm seeing with the teams and if they actually can keep it sustainable. Because we saw the Atlanta Hawks do this for 19 straight games in 2015. They had a 19-game winning streak.
Now,
now,
Mari, I'm glad you brought that up. And the reason why I'm glad you brought that up is because this is what I mean when I say matchups are everything. That Atlanta Hawk team, if they don't run into Cleveland, I think they're in the NBA championship. I do.
You think they
beat
win?
everybody? They beat everybody else. They just ran into James.
Do you think do you think they beat Golden State if they go to the championship?
I don't know if they beat the Warriors. I know that they're in the NBA championship, though. They were 14 games over 500 against the Western Conference that year.
Yeah. And they beat the Warriors as well, actually, when their match.
Yes, they did. They beat the Warriors that year. They were 14 games over 500. They just ran into Cleveland. I think that if they were able to avoid Cleveland, I think we're having a different conversation about them. Everybody's talking about them. Everybody talks about them like they were fool's gold. That's because they ran into Cleveland.
It was the way they lost. I think that was the issue.
They got smoked in 4 games.
It was crazy.
Got smoked. Without Kyrie Irving, no Kevin Love, and Kyrie Irving missed half the series. They got smoked.
Yeah, he was out from game 2 with a cracked knee. I mean,
he missed half the series.
One of the things I'm interested to see, actually, this Celtics game is going to be very important because they're the reigning defending champions. So that's always an important game. But I don't really care if Cleveland lose that game. I don't, because they can play. It's because it's an Eastern Conference matchup. They'll play them 3 more times. If they beat them 3-1 in the remaining series, nobody will care about tomorrow's game.
I think they played them 2 more times, like this month. I think they played them tomorrow, and I think they play them 2 more weeks from now, in 2 weeks.
What's going to be important is the adjustment. Can they do this multiple times to Celtics, and can the Celtics adjust? I think to be honest, a game that I'm actually very much looking forward to for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the reason why I'm going to say this is because they're going to play the Nuggets in December. And I'm not saying the Nuggets are necessarily a championship contender. But what I am saying is that what you find with these type of teams that have a lot of players scoring well, and you don't know what you're going to get from every given night, when they play a team that has an overwhelmingly dominant player on one side, on in a game, sometimes they can so hyper-focus on that one player, they can go away from game plan because they're trying to focus on trying to stop this one individual player, and that guy can beat them. So I want to see how well they play against Jokic and what they can kind of counter with that team. If they blow them out of the water, that's fine. But I want to see if they're a type of team where if they don't have the best player, can they still win a game or a series, or the best maybe 4 or 5 players in the team. So I want to see that from the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's a certain markers I want to see the Cleveland Cavaliers hit in certain teams, but particularly Boston and the Nuggets, particularly just for the matchups of Jokic and having that big man. There is no matchup for Jokic in the league, but I just want to see how they adjust to a big player. But just my final closing arguments of this, also, Philadelphia 76ers, blow it up. It's over. It's done.
It might be, Amari. It might be, man.
People are saying it's going to be fine. Embiid is back. I don't believe it.
Me neither.
2-10 is hard to come back from, and then make the playoffs, and then to contend.
I saw the Lakers go 2-10 a couple of years ago and end up in the West Finals, but Anthony Davis had gotten back in the lineup. That defense had gotten a lot better. They had made a trade at the trade deadline, grabbing D'Angelo Russell, getting Vanderbilt. They were a lot better. This team here, first of all, the availability of both Paul George and Embiid. That's despite everything else that you want to talk about, Amari. That's the only thing I want to talk about.
Exactly.
That's it. I don't want to talk about nothing else.
And going back to your point about when I see you do it, that's when I know you can do it. I ain't seen Philly do this. So with the Lakers, you've seen the Lakers win the championship. You know that they can play on high level occasions and basically play up or down to their competition. I'm not seeing Philly ever do this. So my question is how do Philly now adjust on a 2-10 start? If they go 2-12, and the Western Conference the Eastern Conference is particularly weak. It's a 2-team conference this season. If they go 2-12, I still don't think they can make the playoffs. They might make the play-in, and I don't want Joel Embiid to play in the play-in and then tell him 3 days later to turn around and say, play the hardest game you're going to play for an 8th or 7th seed, and then 3 days later go and roll him up for a 7-game series in the first round against the Cavs.
Amari, are we if we're 3 games out of the play-in tournament and we're late in the season, do you shut Joel Embiid down for the rest of the season?
But probably. What's the point? Because one of the things I was going to bring up as well is the fact that how Joel Embiid 30.
Yes, 3-0.
Now think about it, Chill. From all of the players in NBA history that you've ever seen that's supposed to have been great, when is the kind of end point of them being championship, either contenders or title winners? Age 28. If I haven't seen it by 28, you're not going to probably win a championship.
You got some. You do have some exceptions. I mean, Olajuwon, he was 31 when they won it in '94.
But he got to the finals when he was what, 23, 24?
Yeah, his second year 2. Yep, year 2. He was in the NBA championship, year 2. So, I mean, like I said, there are some exceptions to some guys, but for the most part, this is what it is. So, I'll be interested to see if the Philly can bounce back from this. If there's if between Milwaukee and Philly, I think Milwaukee can bounce back more than Philly off the strength of availability. That's it. So, good to talk to you, brother. Yep. What up?
What up, Chill?
What up?
What up? What's the word, Chill?
What's up, brother?
All right, so I just wanted to talk to you about one of your takes you had before the season. I remember you saying you were speaking on the Suns and you had them in the plan. I think it was 9th. You had them ranked 9th. Yeah, 9th. Mm-hmm. I remember that take, and I just was sitting there listening. And I'm like, I disagree with this take wholeheartedly because you have a team who had a disappointing end to last season. They finished off the season strong, though, going on the run with Bradley Beal getting healthy. But they finished off the season. That's not what you expected. You were shocked, and I was disappointed by them getting swept. But, I mean, that disappointment is the fuel of this season, and I think why they're going to be better in the postseason this season and have a better regular season. And then you also add a point guard, which they needed last season clearly because you had 3 scorers, three guys who puts the ball in the hoop. That's what they're good at, being point guard, being facilitators, which that team desperately needed a point guard. So they got one. And I just want to know what your takes on them this season so far. And, you know, so far your early season takes on them and what you think about the team.
Well, one, just so you know, they're a game out the 9th spot. 1 game. That's where they are right now. They're 1 game out of the 9th spot. And that's how tricky the Western Conference is. I said that predicated on how good the Western Conference is going to be. I said before the season started, I don't know if you remember me saying this, but I said before the season started that it's going to take 50 games to get into the playoffs. I think that's how good the Western Conference is this year, that it was going to take 50 games. That doesn't mean that Phoenix couldn't win 50 games. I just think that it was going to be a dogfight. That's number one. Number two, when I look at this Phoenix Suns team, the guy that I am worried about the most is KD. That calf injury worries me. It does. That thing worries me, man. I'm more worried about him than I am anybody else on the crew. Anybody else of all the guys we can't afford to lose, we can't afford to lose him. We can't. Of all the teams. And I think that Phoenix could be better. I think they could be better on the defensive end. I don't think Nurkic gives me as much as I'd like. I think his motor has always been in question. He will rebound from time to time, but guys like Grayson Allen knock down the long ball. Devin Booker, one of the better 2 guards in the game. Their offense is actually better. I watched that Minnesota game a couple of days ago, and I'm actually getting some good minutes from Tyus Jones. He will score. He will attack the rim. I do like that about him, and he will defend. That part I like about him. The thing that I'm worried about the most with this Phoenix team, that calf injury worries me with KD. Whenever I hear that, I get nervous. Whenever I hear that with him, I get really nervous.
Yeah, he been dealing with it since the Olympics too. The Olympics.
Whenever I hear that, shit really it get my blood pressure up. It does.
And Bradley Beal has the same injury. He has calf strain now. They was calling it calf tightness. Now they calling it calf strain. So yeah, all right. So chill. In all honesty, I kind of understand why you had the Suns down there so low because injuries, man. That's the only thing stopping this team, to be honest, from them reaching their ceiling.
And
injury.
Because the Western Conference is so good. It's like I think you heard 9th seed, and I think that they're gonna be whacked. No, I just think the West is gonna be that good.
Wait, so you think 9th seed? Hold on, let me get to. You think 9th seed because of injuries, or because you don't think even when they're healthy, they're not a top 6 seed in the West?
I just think that the Western Conference is as good as the Western Conference is going to be. Like you could win, you could be the 8th seed and win 50 games. That's how good I think the Western Conference is going to be. Coupled with KD being in and out the lineup, that shit makes me nervous, B. It does. Not because they whack. It's because the Western Conference is that good. You could be good, and the league you in is even better. And I feel like the Western Conference is so good this year that we can't afford to lose KD for a month. We can't.
Facts. And then,
Can't afford to lose KD
I gotta
for a
bring
month.
this up too before I forget about it, and I'm out of here. Mike Budenholzer clears Vogel as a coach. His system, his schemes, everything is way better. It just feels, it gives me a breath of fresh air watching Mike Budenholzer coach the game rather than Frank Vogel, who sat on that sideline for the whole season and did not adjust ball screens from his drop, his coverage, anything. I didn't see him go big. I mean, we started a lot. I started a lineup yesterday was think about this, Plumlee and Nurkic. We started double big lineup yesterday. I never seen Frank ever do that, but he talks about being a defensive minded coach, and back in with the Lakers, he played two bigs. So why you couldn't do that with Phoenix? You had two bigs on that bench last season, but you never ran anything, you never adjusted anything. Mike Budenholzer clears Vogel's a coach. But I'm not trying to say Vogel is a
Frank
bad
Vogel
coach.
out of here. Get him out of here. Get Frank Vogel out of here.
Yeah, get him out of here, coach. Get him out of here, man.
All right,
Mike Budenholzer is a way better coach. I like what I'm seeing. I like the system. We shooting way more threes, not as much mid ranges. I like our defense so far. I think we can be better, but I think it's our center position. I think Nurkic is holding us back just a little bit. He's hurt. He's holding us back, but I think we might make a trade, come trade deadline and upgrade that center position because we don't need elite or great. We just need good. Just be solid. Solid. Don't be a liability. Just don't be a liability. That's what we need. But yeah, nice talking to you.
Yep. What up?
What's good, Chill? Can you hear me?
What up? Yep, you hot.
All right, so I want to talk about LaMelo Ball because I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. And the fact that he's like staying healthy now, I feel like that's the main thing. He got to stay healthy. Those ankle injuries have been like kind of messing with him. So I feel like, and as far as the Hornets, I see the improvement. I like the I like the combination with him and Brandon Miller. So how you feel about the LaMelo?
I think that I think he's a turnover machine. I think that his decision making has been real iffy. I think he could do better at taking care of the basketball. I keep hearing stuff like, well, look who he playing with. Well, Brandon Miller is a baller, and that's coaching. Bridges is a baller. That's coaching. We got to get Mark Williams back in the lineup. We have to get him back in the lineup. But I think that a lot of people get wrapped up in just seeing a guy being good and being a bucket getter, so that automatically means that, yo, he nice. I mean, LaMelo Ball could always score. His shot selection is average to below average at best. I mean, how many 11 for 29 games? How many 13 for 30 games do I have to see from him? How many 12 for 29 games do I have to see from him? He's averaging 22 shots a game. The next guy in line is averaging 12. Why is my lead guard shooting that much? Why? Why is he not getting everybody else involved? That's coaching. And on top of that being coaching, that's also him. That's also him. I need to see him be more of a playmaker. Now, don't get me wrong. I am definitely on board with him being healthy. Because I think when he's healthy, I think we can have a conversation about him being a top 10 league guard, 100%. But the problem is over the last 2 years, he's broken down.
Yeah.
The fact that he's broken down, that's been a problem. The fact that he's available now, I love that about him. I do love that. Now we got to fix that other stuff in his game. If we can fix that other stuff in his game, I think he can be one of the premier guards in the game. I do think that.
And then another thing, as far as the Sixers, I just feel like when they do get healthy, it's going to be a little bit too late because you got to think about the chemistry as far as like implicating Paul George into the lineup and stuff, getting them comfortable playing with Embiid and Maxey. I feel like it's going to be a little bit too late. So my thought process was maybe they should like take it more slower with Embiid and George as far as the injuries and stuff, especially Embiid, and then just running back next year because I feel like it was a 2-year window anyways as far as the championship. So I just feel like they should just go all in next year.
That's kind of how I feel about Milwaukee. That's kind of how I feel about Milwaukee. I feel like this is a 3-year window with them.
Yeah. So as far as
I feel like we in year 2 with that 3-year window.
I think Milwaukee should blow it up after this year. Like as far as like trading Dame. But as far as the Sixers, yeah. So I was saying maybe they should try to run it back next year. Get Embiid as healthy as possible, Paul George, and then just running back with those three.
Let's find out. Yo, DJ, good to talk to you, brother.
Yep, thank you.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, guys, it's about that time for me. I gotta bounce. I'm way over time. It was good to see y'all tonight. Y'all know where to find me at. I'm on TikTok 9 a.m. every morning. If I'm not there, I'm on a panel from 11 to 2. If I'm not there, this is where I am. I'm on Chilltown Hoops. On Tuesday nights, I'm with my man Tony Tone on both Chilltown Hoops and Sports Fluent Network. And if I'm not there, you can catch me on Playback. And if I'm not there, you can catch me and my man Big Ox on Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock. So I ain't hard to find. I will see you guys soon. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I'll talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys.